traditional japi, and a token of love. So I please request everyone to join me with welcoming Dr. Sanjeev Chopra with a huge round of applause.
Friend, Mr. Datta, and boys and girls, why don't you come slightly ahead? Come on, all those in the last row, come in the front row. Okay, settled? Right. So, how many of you want to join the civil services? How many of you want to join the army? How many of you want to do your own businesses? So let us raise a few questions. Uh, how many of you want to do your own business? Very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. So let me ask this girl here. So what business do you want to do?
Hello.
So I'm really enthusiastic towards the animation industry, and that's why I want to become an animator and like to start the studio myself.
Very good. Very good. You already into social media? You are already become, you started making reels and all?
Not yet. Like I'm still like in the process of learning.
Very good. Very good. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Who else wanted to do to get into business? Yep. Yes. What is the business that you would like to get into?
So I do not exactly know the business, but I'm very interested in the aviation industry. That
Okay.
is something I look forward to in the future. So currently I am doing something in the fast food industry.
So maybe you could sell fast food in the airlines, right?
No, sir, I sell fast food in the campus, sir.
Fast food, you sell
My business is mainly about like selling my artworks or like doing something with my artwork. That's all.
Artwork.
Yeah.
So you're an artist.
Yeah.
Army or something in like the civil services.
Okay. Okay. And how many of you want to join civil services? You don't have to force his hand. Huh? Yeah. Two. Only two. So, okay, three. Come on, let's have some more show of hands. Three. Okay. So those who don't want to one, just one person, and so there's going to be no great fun. He'll be elected without any opposition, huh? Okay. How many of you want to become film actors? Come on. How many of you want to become film actors? Chess. Okay. Great. Great. Okay. How many of you want to be teachers? Okay. So, for those who have not raised their hands, what is it that you want to do? It's going to be very difficult to talk like this because you must tell me what is it that you want to do. Okay. Why are you so shy? Are you scared of your dean? Are you scared of me? Whom are you scared of? Yes, yes, young lady, come on, get up. Whom are you scared of? If you're not scared of anyone, then why aren't you speaking? What do you want to do?
Sir, I want to become a neuropsychologist.
Neuropsychologist.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Very good. What else? Ask your friend next to you.
Sir, I am very interested in the field of criminal psychology.
Great, great. Anyone interested in becoming a criminal? Huh? You know, becoming a yes.
Pharmacist?
What do you want to do? Okay. Next to you. Okay. So, friends, what we'll do is that it seems that uh, you're not forthcoming. You're not telling me enough things. So, if you don't tell me enough, what do I talk to you about? What is it that you'd like to know? Any? What should I speak to you about? Tell me fast with those who've already spoken. What do you want me to speak about? Yep. Yeah. Tell me. You tell me.
Uh, for me, I would like to speak about my family is kind of a very patriarchal family, and so I would like to speak about how to face criticism from your own loved ones.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about patriarchy. Okay, that's one thing. What else would you like me to talk about? I'm asking you to tell me what you want me to speak about. So one is patriarchy. Next.
I want to know about your career.
What
Goals.
my career? That's available
Like-
on the Wikipedia, so you can go there.
The key of success.
Key of success. Okay. All right. So one is, so let's note it down. One is patriarchy. Second was the key factors to success. Okay. Yes. Can you get this AC started? In fact, women have a much greater role insofar as the milking of cattle is concerned, insofar as getting the produce is concerned. So it's a more equal society. It's a more egalitarian society. At no point of time do you find Radha being anywhere unequal to Krishna, right? The gopis, I mean, the beautiful relationship with Lord Krishna had with his gopis is a prime example of wonderful love, is an example of brilliant relationship, is an example different. Boys will be boys and girls will be girls, and we must celebrate this difference. But this difference cannot be the basis of inequality. And let us also remember that this inequality started when the agricultural society came about, because agricultural society required force. Agricultural society required strength. Agriculture required physical strength. Now, strength is not only physical, strength is mental, strength is insofar as caring is concerned, and so many other factors are concerned. Unfortunately, and it has happened throughout history, whoever has power will never want to give it away. Because the men had the power to determine, and they had the means of productions. Therefore, they always wanted to control the women. So what best way to control the women is to control equality. It is equality. Feminism is about equality. Feminism is not about dominating of women over men. Feminism is a question of equality. And this equality has to be brought about by several mechanisms. And I'll give you a very small example. As we now start registering houses in the names of women, as we now start registering businesses in the name of women, there will be a major change that has started happening. When women are given access to equal education, not only do they outshine men, they do much better than men. Already, if you notice that in our country, the number of women in medical colleges, the number of women in medical colleges, agricultural colleges, dental colleges, B.Ed colleges, in fact, I think even here, the number of women outperform men because the opportunities are being given. If opportunity is not given, then of course it's a different question altogether. So today we have women in every field, in every walk of life. You know, in 1951 or 52, the first women IAS officer qualified the IAS exam. I mean, till 1947, women not even allowed. Today, women are about 35% in the IAS. My own hunch is that give it another 3-4 years, there'll be more than 50% women in the IAS and the IPS. You know, when Kiran Bedi made it to the IPS, a big furore was made, women in the IPS. Women. I mean, today nobody gives a damn. Because every year about 20, 30, 40 women make it to the IPS. So you can make news only once. You can't make news day in and day in and day in and day out. I mean, you know, when like Atishi has become the CM of Delhi, it's not. I mean, we say Atishi has become the CM of Delhi. We don't say Atishi has become the woman CM of Delhi. So there's a massive change that has happened, and I am very glad that this question was raised. And I hope that in the years to come, women and men will walk together, hand in hand, because a civilized society, a society with semblance, is one in which women and men work together. In fact, I met a girl from Lakshadweep a few years ago, and she asked me, what is my dream? What would I want to do in this country? I said, if I had my will, I would make co-education compulsory from day one. So only when women and boys, when boys and girls will grow up together, when they'll understand each other. You know, we have to understand each other. Men and women are different, but difference is not inequality. Difference is that we work together, we grow together, we talk to each other, we are friends, right? So that is the way to look at it. So that is the response to the first question on feminism and patriarchy. And you know, I'll tell you, what happens is that the way we look at things, for example, even when we were looking at Jhansi ki Rani, we were saying, "Khoob ladi mardani wo to, Jhansi wali Rani thi," which means that we are using Jhansi ki Rani also in the platform of a man. Right? So we assume that you have to be a male in order to be strong. Now it is this gaze that women also need to change, because women must also grow up to believe that it's not just the physical shape. It is, we have to get out of this fair and lovely and fair and handsome syndrome. You see, one of the biggest drawbacks that has happened to our society, and in which women have played an equally, I would say, responsible role, by making it sound as if just having a good figure, or just having a fair face, or just having a certain beauty statistic is the be all and end all. No, that is not it. So, not fair and lovely, not fair and handsome, we have to go beyond that. Our worth is that might is not right. And when you say might is not right, then men and women are not only equal, they have to work in partnership and they have to work together. And I hope and wish that all of you will grow up together and become proud Indians, proud Bharatiyas, proud members of If you are the eldest sibling in the family, you have a responsibility to your younger brothers and sisters. If you fulfill that role, you are successful. If you do not fulfill that role, and pursue your own dreams, to think exactly the same. I mean, you could be born twins. You could be born twins living in the same household, should you bother about things which are not in your control? Are you bothered when it is very hot? I mean, you do get bothered, but can you do anything about it? I mean, the sun has to set at a particular time. It will set at a particular. Yesterday, in the flight, I was hoping to see the Brahmaputra on the flight. I mean, it's a very beautiful sight when you look at the Brahmaputra from here. It's a beautiful sight, but the flight was late, so I couldn't see it. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that I can do about it, right? So, do I get disappointed with it? No. Am I excited about it? Let us look at it in that way. Now, the next question is about discipline. Friends, no one, from an actor to a model to a film star to a rugby player to a cricket player to an academic, no one has been successful without discipline. If you are disciplined, you may still not be successful. Now, let me put it like this very clearly. Just because you are disciplined does not mean that you will be successful. No guarantees. But the choice is yours. And discipline is not just physical discipline, because you can get up in the morning at 5 o'clock. You can go and have a bath at 5:30. You can open your book at 6 o'clock. But whether you absorb it or not is your question. Discipline is not just physical. Discipline is also mental. So I would want you to grow and develop and evolve your physical discipline, your mental discipline, your emotional discipline, because life has to be looked at 360 degrees. Okay? Next question was about the bureaucratic system of governance and how do I compare ourselves with other countries. Look, India is already a nearly developed country. And almost all countries have a bureaucracy. So it is not that India has a unique bureaucracy than the other countries. Every country has to have a bureaucracy, because what is a bureaucracy? You know, the difference between a bureaucracy and a politician is that a politician will make his or her choices based on the rules. Rules are made by legislature. Rules, the foundation of rules is the Constitution of India. So a bureaucrat is one who understands the Constitution both in the letter as well as the spirit of the Constitution. So that is what a bureaucrat is supposed to do. And bureaucracies all over the world are almost the same. There are countries, and how do bureaucracies work well? Countries where the bureaucratic selection happens through a transparent and fair system. State Public Service Commission, and when there are rules that are very clearly laid down. What is a bureaucrat? Is a person who follows the law of the land, who follows the rule of the land, and he is paid to do it. He is paid to do it. You see, the difference between a politician and a bureaucrat is a politician sells dreams. It is his job to sell dreams, because he must create that oomph. He must create that, that aura around him. He must promise more. He must get you out. He wants your vote. A bureaucrat does not want your vote. Bureaucrat has to do what the law is supposed to do. A bureaucrat must follow the law. He must follow the rules of the game, and that is what a bureaucrat is supposed to do. These were some of the questions that you asked. Are there any 2 or 3 more questions? Otherwise, we'll open it up to question answers. Yes, sir. I think, why don't you come here and coordinate, who will ask what. Aap aage aa jaye. Why don't you come in front? Why don't you come here and coordinate this?
this exam?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? In fact, the Gita tells you to work hard. I mean, essentially what the Gita is telling you to work hard. So work hard. And that's the only mantra of success. The only mantra of success is hard work.
We have to, can we improve ourselves by reading those scriptures? Our personality.
I would suggest that, you know, if you were to devote about half an hour to 1 hour every day, it is very good. But you are not going to become a pandit. If you're not becoming a professional Gita Kathakar, then about half an hour to 1 hour, but on a regular basis is very good. You don't need more than that. You don't need more than that. But that is to understand what the inherent philosophy is. So whether it is the Gita or the Bible or the Quran or the Theravada, or the Bodhisattvas, you spend about half an hour to 1 hour reading it, absorb.
Government
Okay.
in that perspective.
Okay. You see, there's a beautiful statement which says that people get the government they deserve. So we have got the government that we. They're all in the hands of professionals. So the professional strength of our country is very strong. Elections are happening regularly. And let me tell you that these politicians will keep fighting with each other. It's their nature. Rugby, it's bound to happen. I mean, rugby is not like playing table tennis. I mean, you can't get hurt playing table tennis. I mean, no offense meant to table tennis players, but the possibilities of getting hurt in table tennis are much less than the possibilities of getting. Aim is to demolish the other person, and the other person's aim is to demolish you. So you will do whatever it takes to do it. What is the revenue model of a politician? A politician's revenue model is to win the next election. He could be very good, but if he doesn't win the next election, what good is he as a politician, right? So look at it in that manner.
Sir, I think corruption is one of those things which is stopping India from reaching its full potential. So I would like to ask the question: how will India issue concepts like corruption and inefficiency in its bureaucracy?
Okay, you have raised three things here. One is corruption, one is inefficiency, and the third is progress and development. First of all, let me tell you that corruption and inefficiency or efficiency are two different parameters. You could be very efficient and you could be very corrupt. So it is not either or. A lot of countries in the world have been very corrupt and have risen very well. I mean, Italy is one example, South Korea is another example. So corruption, we ought to move towards a society which does not believe in corruption. But let me tell you that corruption is a function of gaps between demand and supply. The moment you have an abundance, corruption comes down. You know, your generation will not know about it. Even he will not know about it. But Mrs. Datta will agree with me. In our times, how many people had a telephone at home? You did not have telephone at home. Getting a telephone was a, what would you say? I mean, it was I think 1 in 1,000 people may have had a telephone. Today, everyone has a mobile phone. Everyone has a mobile phone. Now, what has happened is that there is no corruption in the telephone department. Telephone line will be cut. It was a function of economy. You people have not traveled by train. I mean, or these days you go to you go and you can get your ticket on the online. But in our times, you could not have traveled in a train without paying bribe to the TTE. Ask your parents, ask your grandparents, they'll tell you. It is all a function of demand and supply. As the supply increases, corruption comes down. Corruption is a function of demand and supply. And in fact, as the newer schemes of the government of India are coming, corruption today is less than it was 30 years ago. And I say it with full responsibility. India is less corrupt today than it was 30 years ago. And if the USA and the UK and Finland are even lesser in terms of corruption, that is because they've been able to handle this equation better. Right? That is one point. Now, as far as efficiency is concerned, efficiency too is a it would, and as things happen, GST has come and so many things are happening. So today it is very difficult to talk about black money and to talk about corruption the way it used to happen 30 years ago. Right.
Our work get very fast done. So, do you think, sir, it's a like corruption is a necessary evil or something? What is your
No.
point
Let
on
me
that?
put it like this. You see that have you heard of GEM, the government e-procurement
Correct, sir.
portal?
Yes, sir.
Now, with the coming in of GEM, has corruption increased or decreased?
Decreased, sir.
Pardon me?
Sir, decreased.
Decreased.
Correct.
So what is happening is that as systems will get into shape, we'll get better. And let me tell you, you see, one of the problems is that our forefathers, that is the people who are currently holding the reins of business. I talk to a lot of young business people, because their parents and grandparents have been so used to being corrupt or to bribing the people, they can't imagine that things can happen even without bribing. You see, because I'll give you an example. You see, today profit has to be made out of value chains. Profit does not come out of buying and selling, buying and selling, buying. I'll give you an example. You see, till about 20 years ago, in the biggest agricultural mandi of the country, Azadpur Mandi in Delhi, the big traders kg, building cold storages, keeping it for about 6 months, adding the value, reducing the wastage, and then finding an all India market. Today, profit is not to be made by buying at 40 and selling at 50. Today, profit is to be made by value addition. Today, profit has to come from logistics. This transition, and when you find everything moving up the GST route, corruption will be much less than